Hey everybody, so today I'm here to do a wrap with me video along with a Q&A. Last year I did this video and you guys wanted me to do a Q&A with it instead of just like it sped up and music over it. So I'm here to do that. I just went ahead and wrapped those 2 seats that I got them for Christmas because these bags were super noisy when I was trying to make it all work with that. But now that those are out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this video. I asked you for questions on my Instagram stories, and that's what I'm going to be answering today. So the first question is, do you do Elf on the Shelf? Yes, we do. I've got this giant box over here of toys. So I'm just going to grab and start wrapping. I am like all orange now and whatever, so you're just going to have to deal with that. But the first question, if we do Elf on the Shelf, yes, we do. We got that elf, I think it was like either 2 or 3 years ago now, and it's been great. I don't know what else to say about it. I guess we do Elf on the Shelf a little bit differently than other people because our elf comes back on the day after Thanksgiving and doesn't go home until Christmas night, Christmas Day night. So she's actually around to see the girls get their presents and stuff. And like I said, she comes back right after Thanksgiving. So yeah, we do Elf on the Shelf. It's been a lot of fun. The girls love her. Her name's Korcha. I don't know where that came from or why, where they heard it from, but Sophie named her, I don't know, it must be like 2, 3 years ago now. And that's what her name is. So yeah, Korcha's a lot of fun. We love her. Great little elf. Next question is, what's my favorite holiday family tradition? I think I answered this in my Q&A, but regardless, I would say getting our Christmas tree. We have a live Christmas tree and we get one every year. We've done that ever since Mark and I have been together. And yeah, because I think even our first Christmas together, we didn't have a house together. But our second Christmas, we had a house together. And ever since then, we have always had a real tree. I grew up with a real tree. It's just something I have to do. It's like non-negotiable. But yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite because all of us are really involved with it. You know, we go pick it out at the tree farm, we bring it back, and Dad puts on the lights. He helps me with the garland. I let the girls decorate the tree, and then I kind of like fix it up and go back over it after they go to sleep. But, you know, they get to decorate it for all intents and purposes and stuff, and it's just something, I don't know. It's like one of my favorite parts of Christmas, I think. Obviously, I'm going to be looking everywhere but the camera. You guys can even see me wrapping. What am I doing? There we go. So, yeah, you can see it now. Let me scoot back even more. So, yeah, it's probably definitely my favorite part about Christmas, just because it's so involved. It's a really long-standing tradition, too, because Mark and I have gone to the same Christmas tree farm even well before having kids, and I don't know, it's just been really great. So that's probably my favorite tradition. And then my next question, I should really be wearing my glasses, but I hate the glare in the videos with my glasses, so I'm struggling here. What's your favorite Christmas song, and do the girls like to sing Christmas songs? My favorite Christmas song is probably, that's hard. Probably Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Just that. Where'd the tape go? It's going to be a lot of me looking for things that are just right around me because that's what wrapping is with me. And I'm not one of those like professional rappers or anything, so hope you're ready to cringe if you are. But yeah, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I do like Jingle Bell Rock. That's a good one. Okay, I had to ask Alexa for help on the second part of that question, but I would say also the All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. That's just like, I don't know, I heard that so much growing up. That's definitely one of my favorites too. And John Legend actually just came out with a Christmas album called Legendary Christmas, and it's really great. Obviously love Michael Bublé. There's somebody else who I listen to quite a bit. Sam Smith did a lot of songs with just Spotify. They're really great too. I mean, any of those, honestly. But the second part of that question, do the girls like to sing Christmas songs? You betcha. Sophie has a Christmas program at school, and I think between that and the fact of how much I listen to Christmas songs, she's really enjoyed them. They have their own playlist on Spotify, but she will ask me quite often just to listen to Christmas songs, even instead of their playlist, so definitely. And they know quite a bit of words to most of them. Remy, here and there, but Sophie does know a lot of them, mostly thanks to school and then practicing songs there. The next question is, how do you deal with jealousy regarding gifts with two girls? That's the reason why a lot of their gifts are similar. My girls, if you are new to my channel or my videos, are 18 months apart. So they are very close in age, which means that a lot of the time, honestly, they're into the same stuff. I feel like my youngest definitely hasn't taken the typical course of toy interest that like my oldest did at her age. Sophie was still very much into like kitty stuff, kitty shows, things like that. Remy, I feel like, has grown up so much quicker because she has an older sister. Because Sophie's into those things, she's into them too. And because of that, and I feel like the fact that Remy can handle a lot of the same stuff, we typically get them around the same gifts. But obviously when it comes to like birthdays and other things like that, I'm not going to try to suit and make sure that everybody has two of everything. Honestly, even if there was two of everything in my house, they'll still fight over it. It doesn't matter. It could be the identical objects. They'll still fight. So, like these two seats, same color, same seat, same everything. They will still be fought over. But I try to avoid it when I can. I mean, if not, it's just a teachable moment, you know? Like, you don't get everything you want. We have to share things. Some things aren't yours, things like that. Like, there's certain toys that the girls have that I don't expect them to share with one another. And that's a learning lesson for the other one, you know? If you want that so badly, then, you know, save your allowance or wait and ask your sister to take a turn, but she doesn't have to. Like, I don't know. I try to do the best I can. I'm not always perfect. Sometimes it's just me yelling at them to get along. So there's that. The next question is, does Santa wrap presents for your family or does he leave them unwrapped? And I actually had quite a few other questions about Santa and his presents and everything like that. So as far as that goes, with the presents, he typically brings one present for each girl and one shared present. And then they're always unwrapped. Sometimes they're out of the box, sometimes not. Just kind of depends. Like if they're kind of more fun, if they're ready to play, sometimes he leaves them just out of even the box. But if it kind of doesn't matter either way, then typically they stay in the box. But yeah, that's how Santa brings presents, just one a piece and then one shared present. I also got the question about how much does Santa spend on each present? And there was something else. I can't remember. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was. But as far as the budget for Santa, he spends $30 on each of their individual presents and then $30 on the shared present. That's the way I've asked him to handle those presents, and that came from something that I read even before I had kids. Sorry, I'm trying now to think of which gift coordinates with what wrapping paper. Every year the girls pick out their own wrapping paper. So Sophie is PJ Masks and Remy is Paw Patrol, which they don't even watch these shows anymore. Like, I don't know why they pick things that they, whatever. Back to the Santa thing. I read a long time ago that maybe it be ideal that Santa presents be smaller in price points and just smaller gifts in general because of other kids who might not be so fortunate. And I thought that they made a really good point. So we started doing that, and honestly, over the years, I've questioned if that's, you know, like, am I taking this too far? Is it a silly thing? I'm not even rapping anymore, I'm just talking. This is why it takes forever with my videos. But I was actually on Reddit about a month ago, and they have a subreddit called Ask Reddit, where people answer a question that's prompted. And the question was, what would children who grew up with not a whole lot, what would they want other people to know now that they're grown and adults? And one of the top comments that had like thousands of upvotes, I think it was close to like 9,000 upvotes, was maybe making your Santa gifts a little bit smaller because unfortunate children don't get as much. So when they hear other kids did, it makes them feel like they didn't deserve more. And it just kind of reaffirmed my idea. So our big presents, we take care of. The smaller presents, I ask Santa to grab. So that's the way we do it. Oh, I just ripped that. I'm not a good rapper, guys. I'm a train wreck. I'm pretty good when I can focus. Typically, in the years I haven't filmed this, I just sit down late at night one night, put some Christmas music on, and I rap, and I'm not too much of a train wreck. But when you're asking me to do more than one thing at once, especially when it involves talking, it's gonna be a mess. And we are already 19 minutes? Oh my gosh! Wrapped 3 presents. Ugh. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Okay, the next question is, what is one of your favorite childhood Christmas memories? I'd probably say that it was the year my sister and I got an easel to share. And I think that's a really young memory because of the house we were in. I don't think I was very old at all. I think I was around like probably 6, 7, maybe around that age. I can't really remember, but I just remember being so excited that we had an easel. I don't even think I actually even used it that much. I think it was more of my sister's thing. But I don't know. It was just like a really good Christmas. Everybody was happy and getting along, which, you know, makes for better memories when you're a kid. So that's probably my favorite, like, childhood memory growing up. There's a lot of them, though. You know, like, we had so many grandparents to go visit and stuff like that when I was a kid, and aunts and uncles, and so much always going on with Christmas. To narrow it down is really hard because they all meant a lot to me, you know, especially now looking back on them and everybody's not still here, so makes it even more special. But I just remember that being kind of like a quiet Christmas and us not needing to go everywhere and not be as busy and just being with our mom and dad. And for whatever reason, I thought getting an easel was like the coolest thing ever, even though I didn't even end up using it much, I don't think. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. The next question is, what is your budget for presents each year? With, well, I already went over what we've talked about, Santa, and what we've asked him to kind of stay along. And as far as our presents, we spend $100 per child, so $100 on Remy and $100 on Sophie, and then we do $100 shared present, and that's normally like a big present too, so it's like $100 big present, and that's what we do. Honestly, I should start budgeting for stockings because that is my most dangerous game. Because I'm just awful. I'm really awful at it. Like, I just don't know when to stop with the whole stocking stuff. So when I start buying, I don't know how to quit. And it's dangerous. But yeah. Oh, what did I tell you? I don't even know if any of this is in frame. I can't see without my glasses. I should get my glasses. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Can you get my glasses? Much better. Yes, I am in frame. Okay. So, yeah, as far as those Christmas presents, that's what we budget. There we go. I've got no idea where that cut off at. Hopefully it wasn't too far. But the question was, what was a must-do event for the holiday season with us? And I said that is definitely going to see Santa. We do that every year. A park that's pretty close to us does a thing where it has lights that we can drive through. And then at the end of it, it's kind of like Santa's workshop, his cottage, or whatever they call it, I can't remember. But you can go in and you can get your picture taken with Santa, and they actually print them out right then and there, which is kind of nice, because then I can just stick that brand new picture in the frame. And yeah, it's a lot of fun now that the girls are old enough to understand who Santa is and that they can ask for things and stuff like that. You know, they are all about seeing Santa. They love it. And it's just a lot of fun that night. It's really a lot of fun. I think we typically go out to eat afterwards too. Just kind of depends, but that's a must event. And we also always make most of our family members ornaments from the girls. Like, instead of doing presents for every single person, I think a lot of people would just like something that's a little bit more thoughtful, not necessarily more stuff that they could just buy on their own. So we do some kind of ornaments. I think for the first couple years we did salt dough ornaments of the girls' handprints, footprints, whatever. Last year was the first time we graduated to like an actual kind of, I don't know, big kid kind of DIY ornament, and it was the, oh no, I had to move it because the kids were messing with it. You can't see it, but it's the ornament where they put paint on their hand and then they curl it up, like they just hold the ornament and you make it look like snowmen. Obviously I had to paint the snowmen and stuff like that, but it was really cute. And again, I am wrapping to where you guys can't even see. I'm so bad at this. Are you sure this is what you want? Oh, I need somebody to like come help me and make sure I stay in frame and that I wrap faster and talk all at the same time. There's no way I'm getting through all these presents before I get through questions. But yeah, that's typically the only two things that are always we have to do. I guess I started a tradition last year where we bake Santa's cookies and decorate them for him. So I just go buy a cheap sugar cookie mix. I mean, I'm not trying to be Martha Stewart here. So I just go buy a mix, whip it up real quick, bake those cookies myself. Because trying to roll out dough and cookie cutters and the whole 9 yards with, it was then a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, was bananas. So didn't do that with them. But I just let them sit down with some icing and some sprinkles and let them have at it. And you know what? Had the best time ever. And were the cookies amazing for Santa to eat? Probably not. But guess what? It got done and we all had fun, and that's the point of it. So that's probably something else that will be like always. We always have to do is make Santa's cookies. Next question is favorite thing about Christmas. Hands down, my kids. Definitely. Like the whole family aspect. Growing up, you know, even when it was years with just Mark and I, there were so many things about Christmas that I love, you know, getting the tree, decorating for Christmas, and I still love all that. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely do. It's fun to shop for people. I honestly love giving gifts. It's just one of my favorite things ever. I don't care what holiday or birthday or whatever it is that's going on. I love it. But having kids now, watching how excited they are to run out of their rooms and see what Santa left, see what gifts they got, just watching them play all day long, like it puts things in perspective. I just feel like, you know, and this is going to be everybody's perspective. I'm sure there's people who don't have kids and feel like it's just as much of a magical time, even with not having children. But personally, I just feel like they've made it more magical for us. My camera shut off again in the middle, so I'm not even sure where it left off at. Sorry it's doing this. I'm not quite sure what it's up to, but the question that I was answering was what's on our Christmas menu, and with Mark's side of the family, it tends to vary every year, just kind of what's going on, what everybody feels like actually making, and all that kind of good stuff. I think this year we are doing pretty much a meal. I think there's going to be ham and mashed potatoes and green bean casserole, stuff like that. And with my family, it just kind of depends. Honestly, growing up, we used to have a different theme for Christmas every year. Like we had pizza, we had Mexican food one year, we had Italian, I think last year, just to kind of make it different. A lot of Americans kind of eat around the same things on Christmas as they do Thanksgiving. Sometimes normally, you know, ham instead of turkey, but personally with my family, we eat both ham and turkey at Thanksgiving. So to make it not so repetitive, we've changed up the theme over certain years, but this year it is going to be a little bit more back to normal. We're making roast beef and just a lot of different vegetables, stuff like that, rolls. I don't know, just a lot of good food. My mom's side of the family owned a restaurant growing up, so we've always been big into food. So we always have so much food, and my family is nothing in comparison to the size of Mark's side. So like we have all this food, and it could literally probably feed his entire family and mine. But yeah, that's pretty much what's on our Christmas menu, and so many desserts, like so many you can't even begin to count them. And the next question is favorite Christmas treats, foods, or goodies. And as far as goodies go, oh, so many. My mom used to make so many baked goods during the holidays when I was younger. I think my favorite of hers were these Rice Krispie wreaths. No, they weren't Rice Krispie, cornflakes. Cornflakes with marshmallows dyed green. She'd put them in the shape of a wreath. She'd put little cinnamon candies on, which I never ate because I hate cinnamon. But they were so good. Like, I just loved them. Like, I always knew it was Christmas when I saw my mom's Christmas wreaths. And I think growing up now, I would say my favorite treat is like almost literally anything. I make so many different things. My sister-in-laws make great desserts. My mother-in-law makes great ones too. My mom, my aunt makes great biscotti. Like, seriously, the best biscotti I've ever ate before in my life. That's always great. But yeah, there's so many good ones. I would say my favorite food, I don't know that it's like one individual thing with me. I think I honestly like everything just all together, like it just being nostalgic. If it's nostalgic to me, that's like my favorite. So once again, my camera shut off, but I'm kind of glad you didn't even see that one anyways, because it ended up being atrocious. But the question I was answering was, what was my favorite Christmas gift as a child and also as an adult? And as a kid, I said I think that easel was like a really big one. And then I also think that I got a pair of glasses when I was older. And this is probably going to sound strange to a lot of people, but here in the United States, obviously, like, insurance coverage varies from policy to policy, but with ours growing up, it did not cover your frames. You had to pay for your frames out of pocket, and I've worn glasses for years. I've just progressively gotten worse, and these glasses were reading glasses. I think really my first pair. I've never really been like a confident person, but my glasses have always, for whatever reason, made me feel more confident. And I fell in love with these pair that were bright red frames, and there were so many people who were like, that's not gonna match stuff and all this stuff, but I kept telling my mom, like, I want these so bad, like, I love those. And she told me that we probably couldn't get them because, you know, they were like several $100s and it just was going to be too expensive. And that Christmas I ended up getting my glasses with the red frames, and I was so excited. So excited. And they were like really nice glasses. I had them for years. And I think that was also the year that I got my PS2, which was like the beginning of me playing video games, and that was a really big part too. So I think those gifts. And as an adult, I would probably say, I don't know, Mark's been a really great gift giver. So is my mom. So is my grandma. But I'm trying to think over the years. I think honestly, my favorite gift is the one I got this year from Mark, one of mine. And it's this necklace made by this company called Made by Mary. And as you can see, there's a moon and then there's stars. I wanted something to represent my miscarriages, and I think of all my kids, whether, you know, they're here or if we lost them in pregnancy, like I think of all of them as our stars. So like I have the stars, and then we watch Game of Thrones, and there's a couple on there who reference each other as the moon of my life, my sun and my stars and stuff. So like he's the moon of my life, so like it represents my husband and our children, whether they're near or far. And I just really love that. And after everything we've been through this year, it was just like I had to try and not cry when he gave it to me, because it's perfect meaning. And I'd been looking for a really long time for a necklace that could like symbolize what I wanted to without it being super obvious. I'm not the type who, like, I open up about this stuff, even though I do talk about it on YouTube. I don't talk to everybody about it. I'd be really uncomfortable if somebody, like, if we just went out to eat one night and somebody asked me about my necklace and it was, you know, had to do something with my miscarriages. I'd be kind of uncomfortable talking about it. But this is so subtle that, you know, like, nobody's going to ask the meaning of it. They're just going to be like, if anything, oh, I like your necklace, you know. But it was perfect. So I really love this one. I love that, you know, he got it for me, and it's just perfect. And the next question, let me see here. My favorite Christmas drink, hot cocoa, hands down. My sister and my mom love eggnog. I don't think I've ever even actually tried it, but it just sounds gross. The next question is, what are your favorite holiday traditions to do with the girls? And I've had other people ask, like, what holiday traditions have you started and stuff like that. I think going and getting the Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving, because Mark is always off on Black Friday, that's a tradition that I'm really happy we've stuck with, and obviously it's my favorite one that we do. And going to see Santa, that's a really big one. Elf on the Shelf has been one of a really cool ones. Like, I thought it'd be kind of whatever, like not that big of a deal, but Portia has turned into a really big part of our Christmas season, so that's been a really fun one. And the making cookies for Santa is also another one. And my mom also makes them Christmas Eve boxes. So I didn't start that. That was all her idea. I wasn't even going to do them myself, but my mom really liked the idea, so she does Christmas Eve boxes with them. And, you know, that's been a really great tradition too. There's just so many. I just try to jam everything I can into this holiday season, because it really, like I said, in my personal opinion, feels a lot more magical with kids. And I try to soak up every ounce of that, because I know that, you know, we have a lot to be grateful for and thankful for, and just take advantage of that feeling, especially while they're young and, you know, able to be here for Christmas. Because that's the one thing that, like, breaks my heart thinking of them getting older, is like there's gonna be a morning where they won't be in my house on Christmas morning, or I might not see them on their birthday. Like that first time it happens, I'm gonna bawl myself to sleep that night. But the next question is, do you save money all year long for Christmas or just a couple months before? Now, I think, like, the budget for Christmas, I think a lot of people are, like, waiting for this, like, cure-all answer that, like, answers everybody's problem. But, okay, I thought for a second I wrapped this in the wrong paper, but I didn't. It's okay. I just had the wrong present in mind. But I think a lot of people want like some great answer that's gonna work for everybody, but I'm a firm believer in like budgets are very personal. You know what I'm saying? Like it really depends on where you are in life, what you're trying to do financially, what you have to work with. Like I think people underestimate that all the time. I'm telling you right now, you know, when Mark and I first got together and it was just him and I was working 2 jobs, going to school, and he had just started at his, well, now his full-time job he's had for years, but then it was his new job and stuff. You know, we didn't have any money for each other, and we still wanted to give each other a nice Christmas, so we put it all on credit cards. And I'm not saying that's what you have to do or what I would even condone doing, but I get why people do it, because even if you don't have anything to give, you still want to do it. And you know, I've been guilty of it. We've done it in the past, and I'm not going to say I regret it. I don't know. Paying it back isn't fun, but at the same time, like, I don't judge anybody who does that kind of stuff. And I know it's hard to come across the amount of money to, like, gift everybody things and stuff like that. It's just so hard. It really is. Like, as fun as the holidays are, they can be really stressful too, especially with the money aspect. Especially if you're working 2 jobs, you're in school, you know, things like that. It's difficult. So I'm not one to sit here and say, well, I got all my budget figured out, and if you don't do this for Christmas, then I don't know what you're doing. I don't see it that way. I know why people, you know, have credit card debt after Christmas, because I was one of those people, you know. But now we're fortunate enough to be in a position where we save for a few months before Christmas. We don't do from the beginning of the year, mainly because we still have debt. We're still working on paying down our debt and getting that to 0. So unless it's at 0, I don't ever see us just saving a lump sum for Christmas. And plus we have other things like birthday parties and birthdays and stuff in the beginning of the year. So any money I feel like we'd set aside, it'd end up getting used anyways. And because of our jobs and just different things to do with that, we are able to do that within a couple months before Christmas. And it's been all right. So I'm not saying it's the answer for everybody, but that's how we budget. And I do, ever since having kids, I've tried to stick to a budget so we are able to get the most with the money that we have. You know, like I said, my budget isn't about we can only spend this much money. It's more like, this is how much money we're gonna have. How are we going to use it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's Christmas budget in a nutshell for you. Next question is, what's Christmas Day look like at your house and Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve is Mark's side of the family. It works out a lot better that way because he has 5 siblings. He's the youngest of 6 kids. And 4 of his siblings also have children as well, and all of them also have other families to go to and stuff like that. So it's just worked out better. Honestly, ever since I became a part of the family over 7 years ago, it's just always been on Christmas Eve, and that's what's continued to work. So I feel like that's what we're going to continue to do, especially now with it being so long of a tradition. There's just really no point in changing it now. I think they were doing it for a few years even before Mark and I got together. So like in total 10 years. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty long-standing tradition. So we go over there, and it is typically later in the afternoon because not all of his family gets Christmas Eve off. So, you know, we just go over, I think around like 5 or 6 o'clock, eat, visit with all our family, and we do have a gift exchange there, and we do that, which is a lot of fun because it's not like we're buying for certain people. We toyed with that idea, but I think it's better to keep it kind of general, where if you buy a gift, you get a gift, and we just pick a number, and we do that whole, like, you can steal each other's presents and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, so we do that. I think the grandkids also get presents too, from like Mark's parents or aunts and uncles who feel like getting them stuff, but nobody's ever obligated to get everybody something because there is so many of us on that side. And yeah, we just have a good time, and we normally leave around 9 o'clock, sometimes 8:30, really depends how the kids are acting, because my kids have a strict 7:30 on weeknights bedtime, and on the weekends it can be like 8 o'clock, but to see them past 9 o'clock, I don't even want to imagine what they look like. They probably turn into gremlins, like actual gremlins. So I try to get home at a reasonable time, not necessarily for myself, but, you know, I know a lot of people are like, it's Christmas, just let them stay up, but I'm telling you right now, if my kids are up all night and then they don't sleep in the morning, I'm the one who's going to have a crappy Christmas. So, you know, we try to get home at a reasonable time, but that's what Christmas Eve looks like. Mark does typically work Christmas Eve day, so it's just like a average day until he gets home, pretty much. And then Christmas, I said Christmas Eve day, right? Hopefully I did. Mark works Christmas Eve day. And then on Christmas morning, we obviously have Christmas here, where it's just me, Mark, and the girls. Whenever we get done with that and I feel like it's mellowed out, I typically text my mom and she'll come over with my stepdad, and I can't remember if we do their Christmas presents with them right then, or if we wait until my aunt and my grandpa get here. I can't really remember. But my mom, my stepdad, and my sister end up coming over, and then my aunt and my grandpa, my mom's dad, come over, and then after that my other grandparents come over, my dad's mom and stepdad, and we all have Christmas here, and we eat food and we relax all day long, and people just slowly trickle on home. But I love having Christmas at my house. I will continue to do it because I love it. I love not having to go anywhere with my kids and do anything. Personally, the older I got as a kid, I didn't like being other places for Christmas. I just want to be home, but I am also a homebody. It's pretty low-key, and not too terrible much is going on Christmas Day. Just relaxing here with my family and having a good time, and watching the kids go bonkers over all the gifts that they're fortunate enough to get, because us as parents and grandparents and aunts and everything else, we all spoil them rotten. So yeah, it's pretty relaxed, but I love it that way. I have Thanksgiving and Christmas typically for my side of the family here. I've loved doing it. I really do. I really don't like to be too many places with the holidays, and it's allowed everything to be kind of more chill. But actually, I think that's my last present, and I think that was my last question. It was! Look at that. I didn't think I'd finish them at the same time. Yeah, that's all my questions. These are all the presents wrapped. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a mess for you guys. Hopefully with the years to follow, I get more of a hang of it. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys are most eager to give your kids for the holidays, or what your favorite family traditions are, anything like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.